Right, let's talk transfers, let's talk transfer deadline day, because unlike what we saw back in January, where, let's be honest, transfer deadline day was a little bit on the quiet side, and that's probably being polite. Yesterday, anything but. It was spectacular, it was dramatic, and it ran late into the night as well. In terms of the key deals that were done on transfer deadline day, let's just run you through them. Manuel Ugarte's move from PSG to Manchester United did eventually go through for £50.7 million. Clinton's delighted by this one because Eddie Nketiah swapped Arsenal for Crystal Palace for £30 million. Aaron Ramsdale, earlier on the day, this wasn't such a late one, has made the move to get game time, to get starting time, which he hasn't had at Arsenal since David Raya came on the scene last season, has made the move from the Gunners to the Saints for £25 million. The big one that kept everyone wondering if it would happen, would it go through in time? Well, it did. Raheem Sterling, unwanted at Chelsea, is wanted at Arsenal, and he moves from West London to North London on loan. Jadon Sancho has made the move from Manchester United to Chelsea on loan, and we thought till quite late last night that Armando Broja was going to be making the move from Chelsea to Ipswich Town. In the end, he headed from Chelsea to Everton on loan. It was quite a day, and those are just some of the stories that happened. And just picking up on the biggest one of the day, this was the moment that Raheem Sterling made the move from Chelsea late on last night and got into the red of the Gunners.
Hey Gooners, it's Raheem here. Super excited to be signing for Arsenal, and I can't wait to see you all at the Emirates. An amazing stadium. The pitch is like carpet, so I can't wait to see you guys soon and show you exactly what I can do. But can't wait to see you.
Absolutely guaranteed. When I say the red of the Gunners, he's in a blue training top. Merce, let's come to you first of all on this. I mean, in terms, when you look at the CV of clubs he's now played for, Liverpool, the champions Man City, where he won multiple Premier League titles, Chelsea and now Arsenal. In terms of football CVs, that's a reasonably strong one.
Oh, majorly strong, and because he's a good player. It's not because of luck, he's there because he's a good player. I think it's an amazing signing for Arsenal, amazing signing. You've got to remember Arsenal have finished 5 points and 2 points behind Man City last couple of seasons, haven't been able to get over the line. Got someone in now who's a proven winner. Been there before, done it. Even that experience, just to take the offload off of Saka and Trossard and Martinelli. A phenomenal signing, phenomenal. As a Chelsea fan, I just hope the manager at Chelsea is doing it his way.
Do you think he is? Because he was praising him during their
Exactly, and that's what I don't get. And Raheem's been around a long time. For his age, but he's been around a long time. He's saying nice things about the manager. I want to work with a manager. I want to work, I'm looking forward to it. Then all of a sudden, before a game, he's see you later, you're out. And Raheem's been around a long time not to say great things about the manager if he knows he wants to get him out of the club. So for me, I'm shocked. I think this is a major signing for Arsenal. I think this takes them, but I do think it takes them to another level. I really do. I think he's an X factor, and that's what Arsenal need in big games. And he's played in big games. He turns up in big games, never really injured, always wants to play, ticks the box.
And he's watching on, no surprise here, in terms of the game between Arsenal and Brighton, which is the early kick-off in the Premier League, remains 0-0 in that one. In terms of how he complements what Mikel Arteta already has, and they have a terrific working relationship for their time at City together, where does Sterling fit in?
He fits in. I know they've got Saka on one wing, Martinelli. I know today Martinelli's on the bench and they got Trossard there. He can even play through the middle, Raheem. He can cause problems. He stretches it in behind. I think he's better coming from the left. Merson just nailed it. The experience that Raheem has to go in there, and when you can bring a player of that calibre into the club, it was a no-brainer for Mikel Arteta. And the one thing which I like, Mikel Arteta spoke so well of him during the week. I think having a good relationship with your manager helps as well. So he knows Raheem's got to go in there, and it could swing it in Arsenal's favour, bringing a player like Raheem Sterling. I'm so glad he's got sorted out, because you don't like to see players just being frozen out and pushed to the side, which he would have done at Chelsea. So for me, I think it's a good signing from Arsenal.
Right, we will go to Peen and Sue very shortly, because as you can see, there have already been a flurry of goals in the early kick-offs in the EFL, including a big one in the East Lancashire derby, where Burnley are into the lead against Blackburn. You'll see the goals from those 3 games in just a moment. Let's come to you, Boydie, on Jadon Sancho. Finally, we have an end to where he was going to go, if he was going to go. He's made the move. Has he made a good move? Have the club made a good move?
Well, it's a good move in terms of he had to get out of Manchester United, that's for sure, because, I mean, I think, the manager and the player, they can say we've patched up our differences and everything, but I think once lost the trust, the manager's lost a bit of faith in you, it's very, very difficult to get it back. In terms of the way they'll speak in public, you've got to say the right things, but I mean, he went on loan last season and was done really well again. He felt obviously at home, at Borussia Dortmund. But I mean, there's one thing about Jadon: he needs to get his career back on track. This is someone who, could probably had, the pick of any club when he was leaving Dortmund. Manchester United was the ones to sign him, and it's not worked out. So I mean, when you look at both of them are going to new clubs. And you would expect him to be angry. You'd expect him to come out showing exactly why I have been bought for X amount of millions throughout my career, and show that I'm ready to come here and play. I think the Raheem Sterling one for me, when you look at Mikel Arteta, he's got a lot of players within that lineup that are nailed on to play. Saka plays, Havertz plays, but the one position that is chopping and changing is that left-hand side. Raheem Sterling could easily go in there and become part of that front three and stay in there.
Back we go to the transfer talk, and we're going to talk about Manuel Ugarte, who's made the move from Paris Saint-Germain to Manchester United for over £40 million. In terms of that middle of the park, Merce, is this the signing they needed?
Maybe. They need someone who's going to get around the pitch and break things up. I mean, Clinton knows more about him than me. I was talking to Clinton about him. He seems like one of them players who's going to get around the pitch and break things up. If I'm Man United, do I go and get Gallagher for 20 million less or something, who's proven in this league, who's played in it week in, week out? This lad's not been playing at PSG, obviously because of the players they've got at PSG, but he's going to come in here. This French league's not the Premier League, and that would be my problem. I just don't know why they didn't go. He reminds me of a similar player to Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, you're right. He will get around it. Yeah. He's a good player, though. So I understand. And the reason I think they went and got him is because they've lost McTominay, so they wanted to strengthen in that midfield.
But is he much better than McTominay?
I'd say, that's a difficult one. He's a good player. It will improve Man United. He will. You know what would be more worried is someone like Casemiro, because I think he's in that kind of mode and that kind of player. I know, but then they'll have to change and try and find a space for him.
So he give him that defensive cover.
That's what he gives them, the defensive cover. So he'll break things up and then he'll give it to the players like the Bruno Fernandes to go and express themselves. Even that makes a good point, because you look at someone like Gallagher who went there, he could do that job, but maybe they didn't think he was available, but he was available. So it was someone that was staring them. But Ugarte is a really good player.
Casemiro won't play now?
I think, I don't know. That's a decision Ten Hag has to make. Kobe Mainoo will play.
So then Casemiro don't play?
Yeah, well, that's the decisions they have to make at that football club. But I suppose you want to have 2 good players in every position.
Who would you play?